Hello, it's Emily again. Today we are going to do mainly focus on Romanza Part A, maybe Part B if we have time. And before that, let's do a little bit of warm up. So for last week when we do Romanza, I didn't really talk about detail about dynamic, key signature, or accidental, or any rhythm. So this week I want to focus more on the details about Romanza. And before that, let's do a little bit of warm up. The warm up, I want you guys to play A flat major scale. Um, let's do quarter notes and slur all the way, slur up and slur down. Um, and for A flat scale, there's four flats, right? So it's B flat, B flat, A flat, and D D flat. D flat, which is mean C sharp, right? So don't forget to play C sharp. D flat. C sharp equal to D flat. Don't forget to play D flat instead of D natural. Let's do it. So let's set the tempo as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay, let's do it. Okay, let's do a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, let's do a little bit of tuning. So same thing, quarter notes, and repeat the top notes and make sure to play D flat. Let's do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, let's do a little bit faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's do Romanza. Get started. So for part A, so let's see the dynamic for this one. Let's do measure 1 to the first beat of measure 13 as one section. Um, so for this section, I want you guys to focus on the dynamic. So the dynamic here is mezzo piano, and a measure before measure 10. There's a mezzo forte. I want you guys to play a big contrast there. So it's a little bit crescendo to mezzo forte, and I believe from that measure to measure 17, they're all mezzo forte. But for right now, let's do mezzo forte from measure 10 to measure the first beat of measure 13. And the second thing is 1, 2, 3, 4, um, the accidental on measure 4. So there's A natural instead of A flat, right? So make sure to do that. To be careful of that notes, and also when and also don't forget to play back to A natural when you reach to measure 6. And we reach to measure A, there's A natural again, be careful of that. And also the last beat of measure 9 and the first beat of measure 10. So they are both A, right? But the A from measure 9 is the A natural, and the A from measure 10 is A flat. So make sure to switch back. So it's just really easy. So you play that, and then when you switch back, just use this two finger to press down. So when you da 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 like that, so make sure to do that. And what else? And breathing. So for when you breathe, when you take a breath, make sure to breathe in the full air, full air. So I don't want you to breathe over here from your throat. I want to feel the air from down here, from your tummy. So reach, breathe in as much as air you want. I mean, breathe in as much as air you need to, and so that you can play a strong and resonance sound to the next section. Okay, and what else? And also for the rhythm. This rhythm is not as tricky as the later on one, but this one there's a lot of dotted note, dotted half notes, dotted eighth note, or dotted quarter notes. There are a lot of that. Make sure to hold long enough. Make sure to count 1 and 2 and inside of your beats. Um, Make sure to ensure the tempo, the rhythm. Let's do it. Let's do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and one, mm, mm, mm. 1, 2. Okay, and that's it. And also for measure 5, there's a whole note, a whole quarter notes rest. Make sure to take long enough and don't enter too soon. Okay, and that's it for this section. And for the next section, I want you guys to do measure 13 to measure 17. So for this part, there's accident. There's a natural on measure 13. Make sure to do that. And there's another A at the same in the same measure. So make sure to do a natural as well. So both A from that measure are A natural. Be careful of that. And also from measure 15, there's a E, E flat. There's E, three E, right? The first E, I believe, is a E flat, and the second E after the breathing mark is also a E flat. But be careful for the last E. There, that is E natural. So make sure to do that. And right after measure 15, when you play reach to measure 16, there's another E there. So that will make sure to change back to E flat. And yeah, and that's it for this part. There's not a lot of hard rhythm there. It's just same. Just make sure to count 1 and 2 and beats in your in inner beats in there, and so that you won't hold too long or too short. Let's do it. Yeah, it's a simple part. And for the next part, let's do from measure 17 to, let's go a little bit longer. Let's do, let's do to measure 20, the first beat of 23. Um, that's as a one part. And for this one, there's a lot of eighth notes rest there, so make sure be careful of that, and play short enough to fit in the eighth note, eighth eighth rest. Yeah, that's it. And for measure 22, make sure to do the E natural. Yeah, and that's it. And let's do it. And also measure 19. There's eighth notes, eighth note rest and a whole note. I mean quarter notes rest. Make sure to do that. Be careful of that. Whole take rest long enough to fit in the rhythm. Okay, 17. Yeah. And I forgot to talk about the dynamics. So for the first one is mezzo piano, and when you reach to the last beat of the last whole notes of the last half notes of measure 19, there's mezzo forte. Make sure to do that contrast so that I can know, so that we all know the dynamic. And when there's reach to measure 21, there's decrescendo. So make sure be careful of that decrescendo. Is kind of important to switch to the next style. Yeah, make sure to do those dynamic. Okay, let's do the next section. Let's do measure 23 to 30. Measure 30. So for this part, it's a little tricky because of the rhythm, right? So for this one, there's a 16 note, six slur 16 note in measure 28. I mean 20, 23 and 28, right? And so I want you to have an even finger for that running notes. In order to do even notes, first thing I want you to play tonguing. Let's try like a tonguing or slur first before you play the slur. For example, measure 23. Let's do tonguing for the 16 note. So da 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 da. Let's do three times. Da 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 da. Okay, and then let's do slur three times. Okay, same as 20 measure 28. Let's do tonguing for three times. So it's A natural. And then let's do slur. Okay, and the next thing also there's also a rhythm part on measure 27. So there's the last beat of measure 27. There's like let's see, there's eighth note and 16th note in the same beat, right? So same thing. I want you to play. Let's try tonguing first. So da 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 da. Let's do slur as rhythm. Yeah. Let's. And the next thing I'm gonna focus on is measure 25 and measure 26. It's a little tricky because of it's an offbeat. Um, so it's not on the strong beat. It's actually on a weak beat. So it's a little bit hard. So when you count one and two in, it's a little bit it's a little bit easier. So that one it's on the and beat. So let's do a clapping first, and then let's play. Okay. Da 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 da. Right? It's quite easy when you do the one and two and. So I'm gonna count one and two and one and two and. Let's do one more time. One and two and one and. Let's do one more time. One and two and one and two and one and one. Right? It's quite easy when you do one and two and. Let's do, and also let's do that part. Just that 25, measure 25 and 26. Yeah, it's quite easy when you do one and two, and it just that beats when you play it just on the and beat. And also 29, it's a little bit tricky because it's also a offbeat thing. So I recommend you to do uh, beats marking on top of the notes to see where is the beat. For example, measure 29, the first beat is on the eighth note, right? On the eighth E. And the second beat it's between D and Y. So you can just write a marking on top of between D and Y. And after that, where's the next beat? The next beat is going to be on the right on C, right? So we can just do a little marking there. And the next beat is on B and A natural, between B and A natural. So you can write a little marking there so that you know where is the beat. So let's do a clapping first. Right. So same thing. It's when you do one and two and it's a little bit easier than just count one, two, three, four. Um, so one. So let's clap one more time. Let's do it one more time. Yeah, that's it. Let's play. Let's try it. Huh. It's quite easy. Uh, it's quite challenging actually when you play when you just do one, two, three, four, but when you do one and two and it's a little bit easier, but it's still challenging. I recommend you to play that measure a couple more times to um, be excellent on it. So let's do three times. Second time. Third. Yeah, that's it. Let's do the whole thing from measure 23 to a measure 30. 30, 30, right? And remember, for the whole section until measure 27, you play mezzo piano. And when you reach to 27, it's mezzo forte. Let's try it. Let's do measure 31 to, let's do 31 to the first beat of 35. So for this one, it's the same thing. I think the focus is dynamic. So there's a decrescendo on measure 33, from mezzo forte to mezzo piano. Make sure to do that so that the character is out. And when you do the 1, 2, 3, the third beat of measure 35, make sure to do, be careful of the dynamic. It's a mezzo forte, so so be careful of that, and do mezzo forte so that there's like a contrast. And yeah, and for the running down, the descending running notes, the 16 notes, same thing. I want you to play tonguing first, maybe 3 times, and then do slur 3 times. Yeah, so I'm not going to do it, but you can do it by yourself when you practice so that you can nail on that rhythm. I think I did measure 35 and continue, but that's it for the section. It's from 30 to 35. And let's do from 35 to, let's do to till end. Let's still do till end. And when you do a 35, there's nothing really hard on this one, because everything I cover, everything marked here, I did cover before. And so, for example, the mezzo forte, make sure to do the mezzo forte. And when you reach to 41, the third beat of 41, make sure to do the forte so that there's the contrast, right? And breathing, make sure to breathe in a big air, as much as much of air you as much as air you can. And there's no measure 40. Be careful of the A natural, and 41 as well. Be careful the A natural, and the next A is the A flat. That's it for that. Um, let's do it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think I did make a mistake. So when you make a mistake, make sure to mark your notes. So for 37, um, it's A nat A sharp. I mean A flat from A sharp, right? Make sure to do that. No, don't like me. Don't do like me. Make sure to do your A flat. Let's do one more time. Yeah, that's it for this piece. And and I will try to do the whole thing. And so I'll hopefully for the next time we'll have, hopefully we can do part B next time. Okay. Okay, let's